Hey Diana, how are you? So today's topic, I really want to talk to you guys about how understanding and overcoming emotional barriers that are linked to weight loss. A lot of people think that weight loss is just exercising, just dieting, just taking supplements, but it's a lot more than that. You have to have your mental, emotional health in the right mindset. All of that has to line up in order for you to be successful in your weight loss journey, right? So, how many of you struggle with weight? If you struggle with weight, drop a 3 below. Tell me what it is that you feel like is holding you back from reaching your goals. Number 2, how many of you are frustrated when you don't lose weight? I know a lot of us do. Like, we set this goal, a lot of times it's this big goal, and then we don't hit it, and then we're frustrated or annoyed or aggravated, right? So I recently found out that I have, low progesterone, low testosterone, and my thyroid, your thyroid levels should be around between a 1 and a 3, and mine was almost an 8. So therefore my thyroid is very underactive, which makes it very difficult to lose weight. And a lot of times, so once you reach 40, your testosterone level cuts in half. So I'm 34 and mine is already going down. So therefore, you should start getting your testosterone and your progesterone and your estrogen and all of that checked. So that way it's a little bit easier for you to lose, because you can start taking something from your physician that can help you with those things. Like my progesterone is just a capsule at night before bed. My testosterone is just a troche that goes underneath my tongue in the morning and at lunchtime. So, and it just dissolves and that's it. So if you have, had your test done and all those are fine, let's dive a little bit deeper. And many of you jump on a weight loss plan and fail due to not working on the foundation, which which is working on the foundation, which is your mental health. And we have to understand that if we think we're going to fail, we are going to fail. And if you failed in your weight loss journey before, it can contribute to negative thoughts, even with myself, So if you don't believe you can lose weight, you're not going to lose weight, So you got to get rid of the negative thinking. And many focus on weight loss solely. They focus on immediate results, and they view any of their setbacks as like, oh my gosh, I failed. And then that leads to quitting. And many times we'll say like, oh, I've got to lose 10 pounds this week. If I don't, then, you get frustrated and you quit. And a lot of people, if you are one of those people, say that's me below in the comments, because a lot of people are like that, and I was like that too. But you tend to be like, well, what's the point of me doing it at all if I don't lose 10 pounds a week? When in actuality, it's 3,500 calories just to lose 1 pound. So that's a lot. Hey, Amy, how are you? And we all have things that are demanding of our time. We all have busy schedules or kids or work or, something. So we tend to make excuses to not exercise, to not plan meals, to not get adequate rest. And that stops our progress. And these thoughts are all making us achieve weight loss different, right? Oh, it's okay. I can tag the people that I went to below for my progesterone and testosterone and all of that stuff. And they're based out of Florida, but I'm in North Carolina, and they did all my stuff for me. And it was like $200 for the lab work, $75 for the doctor's visit, and all the medications that I need, which is 3 different ones. It's like $200 a month. But I'm feeling better, like I feel like my, your sex drive is up, you feel like you're not having all these things that you normally would battle, so why not move things to the top of our list? Like, why not put our exercise at the top of our list? Like, do it in the morning before we can even have time to think about it, right? So that way we can remain aware of our goals and become less likely to sabotage them. So let's look at some of the roadblocks. So we all have like these roadblocks that come in our way, and they just mess up all of our, goals that we have per se. So one is how we view ourselves. We have to start looking at ourselves, and instead of nitpicking our whole body, start looking at ourselves in the mirror and not be so hard on ourselves. Like, we've birthed children. We've literally grew a child from a sperm to a huge child. Some people have 10-pound children, and they, are upset that they have stretch marks. They're upset they have cellulite, but we all have cellulite. Even my friends that are 100 pounds have cellulite, So start adopting a positive body image. And I know it's hard. It took me so long. And these negative thoughts frustrate us, and they make us want to quit, right? But you have to understand that you are you. Your body is yours. Your body isn't mine. Someone else's journey is their journey. And it may seem motivating to look at this picture perfect person on Instagram that is photoshopped and compare ourselves, but this leads to feeling of failure, right? And what works for one person doesn't work for another person. That's so awesome, Amy. I'm so glad. And so you have to understand that your plan of action is yours, and it's not going to be the same as the person next to you. So what my plan that's going to work for me isn't going to be the same for you, because you don't have hypothyroidism. You might not have Hashimoto's. You might not have anxiety. You might not have low progesterone. You might not have low testosterone. So what works for you is not going to be the plan of action for me. And so keep in mind that all bodies come in all shapes and sizes. And some people, the shape that they desire to be is 100% unattainable for their body type. Like me, I have very big hips. And I will not get to a certain size in my hips. That it's just physically impossible, right? So next is going to be stress and emotional health, right? Stress affects your appetite, it affects your cravings, and it brings on, these carbs. Like, we want to eat carbs, or we want to eat sugar, or we want to eat cupcakes, we want to eat cookies. It brings on those things because food brings us comfort in those times. And yes, it makes us feel good then, but it can have an effect on the pattern that we're trying to break. Like, you can do so good, you can be like crushing it, and then something bad happens, and you go and you reach for a cheesecake or cookies for comfort because you got frustrated, versus sitting with yourself and thinking through your emotions and figuring out what makes you feel like you have to go and do those certain things. Some people battle depression, and that's linked to decreased motivation. It creates lack of interest. It affects your appetite as well. I battle with it as well. I battle with postpartum depression, and it trickled on for years still. I had my son 8.5 years ago, and I still battle with it to this day, So we have to think of how can we overcome these barriers, and we have to learn to set goals that work for you. Not goals that work for someone else. Like, okay, you may be a nurse. You may work 12 hours a day. Okay, what can I do to get physically active for an hour? Because yes, you may be a nurse and you may be on your feet all day, but your body is accustomed to that. You may be a warehouse worker that's on your feet all day running around the warehouse. Your body is accustomed to that. You're not losing weight because your body considers that normal. That's your normal heart rate. That's your normal motion that you're going throughout the day. So your body is not getting where it needs to be to burn fat. That's why you have to get that exercise in, is because you have to get your heart rate up for a certain amount of time to get to the fat burning phase. And a lot of people, use their job as an excuse, or use their children as an excuse, when they should really be your why. Like, I don't use my children as an excuse as to why I can't work out. You know, I use them as a reason. The YMCA has a childcare program. If you don't have enough money, they're based off your income. You know, there's so many things. I could give you a reason for every excuse that you have, I promise. And make sure that your goals are conducive to success at a realistic, specific, attainable. Make sure that they're all lined up. They have to be realistic. They have to be specific. They have to be attainable. So why not stop wishing and adapt your goals to fit in the parameters of your life? You know, if you have to be at work at 8, why not get up at 6, go get an hour workout in or 45-minute workout in? Is better than nothing, and then go to work. Or why not walk on your lunch break? I know a girl named Christy, every day, no matter what, she would walk on her lunch break. But you have to understand that you have to start holding yourself accountable. You're letting yourself off so easy, and that's why it's very important to share your plan with other people. You know, hang up visual motivators like a bathing suit that you want to fit in. Hang it up so that way every time you see it, you know, you're like, oh, got to make sure I'm doing this. Oh, got to make sure I'm doing that. Hang a picture of it up on your refrigerator. So it's like if you go to grab something out of it, it's like, oh, no, I got to fit that bikini. Nope, can't have that cookie. No, something like that. But modify your thinking and pay attention to how you talk to yourself. Replace those negative with positive and learn to manage your stress. But I think it's so important is that people jump into like their weight loss journey without any education. And knowledge is power. So you really need to understand your body and how it works in order for you to be able to lose weight, because it's not easy. It's a science. And supplements don't make you gain weight. They don't. So I've heard people say, the supplements made me gain weight. No, they don't. Supplements don't make you gain weight. They don't. It's a science. You're putting more food in your mouth than what you're burning. That's it. That's what makes you gain weight. Supplements are a tool. They're a tool. They're a tool. Just like a pair of good running shoes are a tool to help you run and be comfortable and not ache or hurt or be in pain. They make the journey easier. That's how supplements are. They make the journey easier, right? And if you feel like you aren't hitting your goals that you want, seek support. Professionals are there to help. They're there for a reason. That's why they went to school. That's why they've educated themselves, is to be able to help you. The thing is that I find a lot of people, you know, they tend to be like, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. My kid's got to be up. They got soccer, they got football, they got this, they got that. I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that. When actuality is prioritize what you need to take care of yourself, because if you can't take care of yourself and get yourself healthy, you're not going to be there for long term to take care of the rest of your family. You want to be there for your kids, okay? Do you want to be there now, or do you want to be there for the rest of your life? You have to start taking care of yourself. It's a key. You have to. It's so important. And if you don't take care of yourself now, you're going to be paying for it later, right? So I hope that this helped you a little bit with, you know, your mental health, emotional health, understanding, overcoming, you know, emotional barriers that are linked to, you know, they put kids in sports but don't do activities themselves. Exactly. Like, you get your kids in sports to be active, to meet people, to, you know, learn sportsmanship, but you don't do it for yourself. Like, you have to hold yourself to a higher standard, just like you're holding your kids to a certain standard, just like you hold your spouse to a certain standard. So it's very important to get active yourself. Like, some people will be like, I ache, I hurt, I can't. I'm like, do you realize that if you exercise, you wouldn't be in pain so much? Because it helps so much in so many ways. If you deal with depression and anxiety, exercise is the best medicine. I'm speaking because I know. Like, you have to get going, get moving. It releases hormones, endorphins, all these things that can help you mentally. not just physically, mentally. Stop looking at just the physical aspect. Just stop looking at just weight loss and start looking at how you're feeling, how you're emotionally feeling, how you're handling stress just because you got up and got moving and started exercising. So you have to just change your whole mindset. And I know it's not easy, but you have to. You have to overcome these barriers or you're never going to have long-term success. You don't want to keep lose, gain, lose, gain, lose, gain. You know how many people that are in the health and wellness industry that keep talking about and posting about the same 5 pounds they lost? They lost it, but yeah, they gained it, and then they lost it again, but they keep telling you that they lost 5 pounds, and then they lost another 5 pounds. No, that's the same 5 pounds. They just gained it back and then lost it again. So it's like, you have to understand that you have to get your mindset right. You have to get your mind in the game, and really, really figure it out. And stop thinking that it's just going to be a pill that helps. It's just going to be a drink that helps. It's just going to be a shake that helps. It's not. That's little pieces of the foundation that you're building to help you get better. Exercise is one. Supplementation is one. Diet is one. Figuring out ways to deal with your stress is one. It's not just one simple fix. It's not. It's just, that's what a lot of people want. It's just an easy way to be like, oh, I can't do it. It's too hard. Or I'm trying. If you didn't catch my live on trying the other day, you need to watch it, because the word trying does not exist. Trying is just a bullshit excuse as to why you can't achieve your goals. You're either doing it or you're not. There's no trying to do anything in life. So I hope y'all had an awesome day. I hope you got some value from this. Please feel free to click the share button, drop some comments below on what you think about your mental health and how you are going to move forward in understanding your journey and your emotional health and how you can press forward. And I hope y'all have a blessed day and talk to you soon.